sweet. It's recording. Here's our little intro video. Letting you in was the worst thing I could do. I don't recall it taking much to convince me to, but I thought I had escaped your emotional attraction. So imagine my surprise at my cardiac reaction. I thought I was stronger than I really am. It took all my attention just to try to be a better man, I guess. Yeah, there we
Yay!
go. Welcome to Mac and Cheese, everybody who's going to be watching this when it airs. And also to you, Juliana. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Nick.
So
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. So what have you been up to?
Well, let's see. So, I mean, the main thing that I've been doing aside from, like, writing and recording music, I am a teacher right now. I teach private
sweet.
lessons. Mm-hmm.
What's voice, piano, both?
Yeah, vocals, keyboard. I do group lessons for, like, bands and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And where are you right now?
So I'm actually living in Queens, New York.
Oh, okay.
For a while I was in Brooklyn, and then in the middle of the pandemic, my landlord decided she wanted to raise the rent on us.
Nice.
So we left.
Yep, fair.
And she was like, I can't believe I couldn't find some way to make you guys stay.
It's like, yeah, you could have by not raising the rent. It's like, these people don't want to work. These people don't want to pay their rent.
I don't know
It's like,
why.
yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
Crazy. But yeah, now I'm living in Queens and I love it out
Nice.
here.
Did you go right to New York after Berkeley?
I spent 4 months moping around first.
Was that moping around at home?
Yes, I was
Okay.
moping with my parents, and they were very supportive while I moped about
fair.
like not being in school anymore, not knowing what to do with myself, and
Yeah.
feeling like, well, I know I want to be a singer-songwriter,
Sure.
and I know I need to go to a major city to do that, but I'm not employed, and I need to figure out how to become employed.
Yep.
In the end, it turned out that, if I wanted to be employed, I had to move to the city.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It seems like you're. I mean, I see all sorts of your stuff on the socials and
I've been
how
playing
busy
out
you
a
are.
bit.
And good. That's good. It's the world's starting to kind of get back to normal a little bit.
They keep saying that.
Well, okay, disease wise.
They keep saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mean to be a downer. It's just,
No, I understand with recent decisions made, but well, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying life at least 90%, which is I suppose the most we could all ask.
Yeah.
But what do you want to start us off with? Why don't we get some music going and we'll talk a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. So, while I've been living in New York, I've been getting to actually work with a band who's playing my music for
That's
the
always
first time ever. That's been something I wanted to do for the longest time, and now I have it. And it's been absolutely amazing, a totally different experience, feeling what it feels like to have other musicians kind of breathing extra life into my tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're actually working right now on recording a couple songs that are going to come out over the next year.
Nice.
And one of them is this tune that I love so much called Sweat and Tears.
All right. I look forward to hearing it.
All right, here we go. Did you know that even Wonder Woman has her moments? That Captain Marvel isn't a saint. When they balance the fate of the world on their noses, even Spider-Man has his days. I've seen grown-ups who pretend their hearts are never hurting, their feelings never factor at all. But they're biting their tongues till they taste in blood, and they swallow it to show they're strong. And they say never let no one see you cry. Damn, why? I wanna see you with your bloodshot eyes, sweat and tears all showing. And when they ask how you feel, don't just say, oh fine, let's try. Go at the brandishing your bloodshot eyes, sweat and tears all showing. What's the point of punishing Pandora when envy makes us human to start? It's the curse of existence, the pain of deliverance is the gift of loving wrong and hard. I've seen yours pretend their hearts are stone cold, believe until it's finally true. Then the singular way they can act is enraged, thinking no one gets what they've been through. What? And they say never let no one see you cry. Damn, why? I wanna see you with your bloodshot eyes, when it is all showing away. And when they ask how you feel, don't just say you're fine. Let's try what the brandishing your bloodshot eyes, when it is all showing. What's life without a broken heart, or 3 or 4? Without it on my sleeve, I'd have no sparkle anymore. Under pressure, understanding there's a life worth bleeding for. And they ask how you feel, don't just say you're fine. Let's try go what they're brandishing your bloodshot eyes, sweat and tears overflowing. Damn, why? Sweat and tears all showing. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Woo. I love that. Like I said, it's so nice to whoops, that's not what I meant to do. To hear you sing and play again. It's been too long.
So yeah, it's been a million years.
It
When you-
really
when you-
has.
When you put on the intro, I was like, oh, I know this voice like no other.
We'll see. I might play that one depending on how I'm feeling.
God, I hope so.
I'm gonna throw in a couple new ones because I know that that you haven't. I mean, like I said, we haven't talked or seen each other in a little while.
I guess
and-
everybody here doesn't know. Everybody here.
Yeah, everybody here. Yeah, we met at
know.
Berkeley.
Yeah. We met at
Um,
Berkeley. We took a performance techniques class together
did. We
with
took
Mr.
2 of them.
Taylor. Took 2 of them. And in that time, we got to like watch each other perform, and then we like played together, and we talked
Yep.
together, became friends
It
together.
was great. Got to watch each other grow.
Yeah.
It was
Got
yeah,
to
it
be
was
in a
really.
documentary
it was
together.
really- we did. I forgot about that. I gotta play that song too. That was another one I was gonna play. Was one of Liv's
Yay.
songs. Yeah. So since then, I went. I came back to Michigan for a couple years, and then COVID did its thing.
Mhm.
And towards the end of 2020, actually, I went to a songwriting workshop in 2019, I think, in Nashville, and I really liked it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go down to Nashville. And then I went there, got my master's in classical composition at Belmont, and then decided, I'm lonely and Nashville kind of sucks, so I'm gonna leave. And so now I'm back in Michigan, and seeing what I can do with the extra degree for teaching and all the music
Yeah.
stuff and research, and doing what I can.
Teaching is the best, honestly. Like, I'm really grateful that I'm able to make that kind of my primary occupation right now, because
Mhm.
like there's nothing cooler than getting to watch other people have breakthroughs.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Right. And so like I like to have a lot of fun with my students. I call them my kids. So I was about to be like, I have fun with my kids, but I wanted to make sure I told you first.
My
when I say
children.
kids.
The
All
ch-
of my babies. I like to have a lot of fun with my kids.
Yeah.
And kind of trick them into learning technique, like, and
Mhm. Yeah, well, they're not gonna do it willingly, so
well, no, they're not gonna do it if you tell them straight up how it works,
no.
right? So then you're like playing a dumb game with them and making them make all sorts of weird, funny noises, and then suddenly they do it right, and they're like, and I'm like, yeah, you did that.
Now you get it. You get it now. Yeah. No, it is fun. I did. I was a tutor at Berkeley, and then I was a TA at Belmont, and so I got to work with some of the students. More one-on-one at Berkeley, and then more in a group setting at Belmont. But it was still, you could still see the breakthroughs, and you could see people starting to get it, and it was good when it worked. It was nice. It was cool.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I think, the other like most important part of my job, I think, is like the fact that I get to be like a positive adult influence in these kids' lives, because like I work in the city,
Yep.
not everybody here has a perfect family.
Yep.
And not everybody has like perfect people around them in general. So like being a safe place for that kid to like come and be themselves
Yeah.
is like a really huge thing. So I try to make my little lesson room like the most like friendly and chilled out experience they can have, because like
That's awesome.
that might be the 145 minutes every
Right.
week. that they can
What's
do
the
that.
age group that you're working with mostly?
So like my youngest private student is 6.5,
Okay.
and my eldest private student I think is 38.
Okay. Nice little range there.
Mm-hmm. And then we
That's
do group
awesome.
classes as young as 3, but like
Wow.
that
Wow.
the group class is like, what is this?
Yeah.
A guitar. Yes, it's a guitar.
That sounds cute though.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
so much fun.
I don't know if I have the patience to deal with the little ones. My mom's a kindergarten teacher, and I feel like it would be vastly irresponsible for me to be a kindergarten teacher because I do not have the patience, let alone the experience, but definitely not the patience. Those little shits are too much for me sometimes.
I mean, they can be a lot.
Yeah.
You just have to decide when you're going to lay down the law.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the time, laying down the law involves just like pulling them aside and asking them why they're acting this way,
Right.
rather than just like blindly punishing them and just
Yeah.
being like, go sit outside, right? Ask them,
Mhm.
why are you behaving like this?
Right.
You know, what can I do to get you to do what we need to do?
Yeah.
And majority of the time, they're willing to negotiate.
I like the emphasis on majority. That's understandable.
Sometimes 5-year-olds have meltdowns and you can't talk to them. That's just how it is.
Sometimes 26-year-olds have meltdowns and you can't
Oh,
talk to
yeah.
them. I get it.
I'm
I
sure I'll
understand.
have some 26-year-old meltdowns. I'm turning 26 next month.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna do another new one here, and it's gonna feature actually. He's sleeping right now. My little kitty.
Pretty.
That's Gandalf, and I mentioned him in this song very briefly. That's the only reason I'm reminding people. And he's a very handsome boy, and it's important that people see.
I'll mute myself.
This one is actually speaking of 26-year-old meltdowns, this one kind of is a 26-year-old meltdown. It's one I wrote, started writing the morning I turned 26, and it's kind of a self-reflective, kind of retrospective piece, and hope you like it. There's a happy kind of dreary kind of dreamy kind of breath of fresh air blowing in from outside. Siamese with his blue sky eyes staring at me from the couch side. Tear me for a night and I'm high as a kite. I couldn't sleep last night. Life's throwing shade and throwing shit I didn't think I'd have to deal with so soon after 25. Barely 8 hours in, I can't manage a grin. I've been worrying about the state I'm in. You know it'd be cool if I didn't have to worry about an existential crisis. Every year I can still see well enough to drive. Sorry. It'd be cool if I could tell myself to enjoy life as it goes, instead of inadvertently comparing myself to my parents while I go and pierce my nose. I got some overqualified, underpaid, unsolicited advice from someone who used to have a clue. I've seen 14,605 different futures, and none of them have got the whole truth. But at least I've gotten better looking while I sit and contemplate what my life is. These last few
thought could be done in a quarter-life crisis. And while I wait for it to get better, I might as well sit around and sing, 'cause my guitar won't ever leave me, and I got that in writing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Thank you.
Oh, I had completely forgotten how much fun you are to watch.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a while. It's been what, 5 years?
Don't say that.
Okay. It's been
No, it has
It's
not
been-
been 5 years. It's been 4 at the most. We left.
Oh, that's
Berkeley in
right. No, you're right.
2018.
20. Well, no.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You might have graduated the year after I did then, because I graduated in 2017. But I was around Boston for a little while,
That'll be why it seemed like you were still there.
because I
'Cause
was
you
still
were.
there. Yeah, I left. I left in 2019. Left
see.
Boston. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh man, when you hold that guitar, I can see how happy it makes you, and that's what I've always loved about your performance.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. As long as I could keep my freaking eyes open, then I think I'll be on the right track.
I'm not the one to give you that critique. I'll leave that to the man in the bow tie.
I don't slide into my notes very much.
No.
That's something I've tried to take with me, and most of the stuff I value everything he has to say. I apply most of it.
Listen, just understand that the audience will not accept your passion until they are held by your discipline,
That's true.
or
And
they
if I
will
want to
get
get
some
laid, I just
pizza.
need to wear a bow tie. It's the only reason to wear one, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, what do you got next for us?
Well, I was thinking, you were doing like the modern folk thing, so maybe I should bring out my most like folk adjacent piano song,
Yeah,
right?
let's do it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
So it's called Tonight on the Train. Last year, around this time last year, actually, I had a very unique experience on the train, which is to say I had the average New York experience on the train. I was on the subway coming home from a session, and I fell in love with somebody I will never see again. I did not get the digits. What a shame. But when I got off that train, so that I wouldn't forget it, because it honestly felt like it came out of a book or a movie, I wrote it all down on my phone, every detail I could remember. And it went like this. I fell in love with a stranger tonight on the train. She was kinder than kind, told me Kelly's her name. She works at a karaoke bar. Friday's her birthday, she's hosting a party for the first time since she was a kid. I fell in love with a stranger tonight on the J. She told me that she liked my hairpin, the same one I wear every day. She carried a paper bag from Claire's. She showed me the pins and tiaras she bought there and smiled at me through a pink satin mask. And have I met the perfect woman? And would I give it all away for 15 minutes with this human? I wonder as I ride away. I fell in love with a stranger tonight in New York. She told me that she liked my freckles, and I wished I could show her some more. We're twin crustaceans on the tracks, reluctant baggage on our backs, but none of it matters when she giggles like that. And have I met the perfect woman? And would I give it all away for 15 minutes with this human? I wonder as I ride away. I had to transfer to get home, but wanted to stay. I crossed the platform and wished her a happy birthday. And through the windows of the train, she winked at me and grinned again as I blew a kiss to a stranger I met on the train. I blew a kiss to a stranger I met on the train. I blew a kiss to a stranger I met on the train.
We'll have to start a campaign to find her.
Kelly, where are you?
Kelly, hashtag where's Kelly?
Hashtag where's Kelly? Pink mask, cute person, karaoke bar.
There we go. Wait, hold on. There we go. Hashtag where's Kelly? We'll start a movement. No, I like that. That was really cute.
Thanks.
I always, yeah, that kind of stuff is fun.
It
Like the
sounds so
very-
made up.
Well, that level of specificity is very, very impressive. I've been in similar situations where like seen somebody on the train is like, whoo, and then never see that person again. So
Yeah.
I understand the kind of ephemeral nature of the train, the train romance.
No, yeah, it's like in on one hand it feels like a totally unique experience that's never happened to anybody else, but also it's happened to all of us. We have all fallen in love with a stranger on the train.
It's all we all approach it in our different ways, though, you know.
Yeah. Everything that happened. She wrote a little message to me on her phone and then like showed me the phone and it said, "I like your hair clip." And I was like, thanks.
Nice. Very cute.
Oh, it was what a night.
I think I can remember it all. The documentary that we were in together, the Livingston Taylor one.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I think most people who have watched this kind of know who he is because I've done some of his songs before and talked about him. But James Taylor's brother, great singer-songwriter and
He's more than
teacher.
just James Taylor's
Oh,
brother.
he is very much more than James Taylor's
He
brother.
would hurt you if you introduced him like that.
I only introduce him like that to people like this because that's the only form of reference they're gonna have. He's really good. I mean, I can hear some of the similarities with him and James, but he's very much a different. You can tell they're related, but that's kind of where it stops.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Liv's been very influential on. I mean, me as a musician, but even as a writer, there's been a lot of things that I've kind of taken from his ideas and from his class.
Yeah.
And so this one is the title track of the documentary. Again, provided I remember it all. But this one is Life is Good. So
If you
we
forget
will
the words,
see.
just do what I do and take a real long pause between lines.
is that what happened in the last song, or were
Don't
you
worry
just
about
pausing
it.
for effect? All right, perfect. I love it. 8 hours with the shovel in the city's summer sun. Aching arms and dusty boots and a job that won't get done. 2 weeks pay spent yesterday and a 3-change bus ride home. The fading gray of a long hard day, not a thing to call your own. And the boy turns and he asks his old dad, he says, "Are you happy for the kind of life you had?" He said, "Life is good. Spring is in the air. You got $2 in your pocket, a little bit of Brill cream in your hair. You say life is good, but you're proud of what you do. Oh, giving your all to others, and it all comes back to you."
Some guys are handsome and they make friends all the time. Always got a buddy and they always feel fine. Others take the backseat and they watch the world go by. They live a life alone, quietly and shy. But when love strikes and fire starts to burn, lonely years melt away, and finally it's your turn. And you say life is gold, winter's blowing cold, and love is forever and it never will grow old. You say life is good when you're proud of what you do. Oh, giving your all to others and it all comes back to you. I told you I'd probably forget some of these words, and I say life is good. You were headed for the fall, and you pick yourself up and you dust yourself off, and it didn't hurt at all. You say life is good when you're proud of what you do. Oh, giving your all to others. Come on now, try. Listen very closely to every laugh and sigh. Maybe there's a reason for all we do. Giving your all to others, and it all comes back to you. Who needs a bridge?
Who needs?
Bridges aren't real.
I need one to get to work.
Oh, do you? Do you have to? Yeah. I don't really work right now, so I mean, I'm just doing the performing, and I guess I don't need a bridge most places that I go. I can go
That's
either.
wonderful.
There's ways around.
Man, I love that song.
It's a good song. It's it was fun. Just I mean, all of us in that at the record company recording that. Was it you and me and Hux and Jess, Chelsea and
Yep.
Matt? I think was the other piano player / vocalist. I think his name is Matt.
Had to be.
We'll go with that. We'll go with Matt. No, that was a fun time, and I do miss. I mean, I miss that kind of musical camaraderie. I had a little bit of it at Belmont, but my program was pretty small. There was only one other master composer who was going through the program. So I had some classes with him and got to have that kind of stuff. But it's different. The Berklee realm, without sounding like a pretentious douche, it's a different place.
No, it is. Like, I remember, I got very used to that Berklee bubble, I tell you. Like, the first time that I decided to go to a coffee house after Berklee, it's going to make me sound like a real jerk, but I got used to every person in the show being amazing.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
Yep.
I forgot that there are rooms where I am the most talented person in the room because I'm so used to, at Berklee, being the least talented in the room. And that's not to step on myself, but that's to say that, like, when you're surrounded by such immense dedication and talent and skill at all times, you can learn from everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it makes you better. It makes
It does.
Yeah, you should. My dad kind of was always like something he always told me was like, you should never be like the best musician in the band. Like if you are the best musician in the band, you probably need to go somewhere else if you're trying to grow.
Yeah, I heard a similar version of that, which is if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep. There's always going to be someone better, and you can always learn from that person. It's always a good opportunity, not something to be sad about. I'm telling myself that. I'm not saying that to you or anyone else. It's just self-deception and conviction, and maybe I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe.
I mean, do you have plans to go back to an environment where you are hanging out with other, like, musicians?
I hope so. I mean, ultimately, I'm here right now doing the performance thing and the probably some private lessons, and I tune pianos actually, so that's been a really helpful thing. It's really
I didn't know you were doing piano tech now. That's great.
Yep. I put the tech in quotes because the tuning part's fine. I had to replace a string for the first time the other day. Oh my god, that was a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, no,
It's so annoying.
It's a lot to it. That's why I leave it to the pros.
Well, yeah, because you got to take out the action thing, and then you also have to weave it through, and it's a pain.
Was it an upright or a grand?
It's an upright, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if it actually would have been easier or harder with the grand, but it was like an alto range string, so it wasn't like a bass string, so I didn't have to worry about anything weird.
And it wasn't like a hyper treble string where you're gonna potentially slice your own eye open if you fail.
No, it wasn't that. It was only like
Sorry
2
if
octaves
I just
above
gave
middle
some
C or
body
something.
horror to one of our viewers.
That is something that I've been worried about. One of my old boss in Nashville, he was saying he's French, and there's like a piano tuning school or company or something in France, and apparently you have to be blind to work there. Like, I think it's, I don't know, some sort of sensory compensation thing. They're like, you're gonna have a better ear if you can't see. I don't know.
Sure.
But he said that one of the people he knew that was tuning had an eye patch, and he was asking if that's how he got it. And I don't know if that was the actual answer or anything, but I could see it happening. I mean, I've pricked my finger a lot with strings here and scratched myself, and I can imagine it'd be worse under thousands of pounds more tension. Yeah. And also just less familiar with it. Yeah. I'd like to keep my eyes, please.
I mean, if you ask so politely.
I will. If that's what it takes me to keep them, then that's what I'll do.
Please, let me keep my eyes.
Please, sir. Let me keep my eyes. What do you got next for us?
Well, geez. I mean, so I was thinking, my mother's always telling me there's a G on the end of that word, Juliana.
Not when you're singing.
Yeah.
If you put the G on it when you're singing, then you sound weird.
It depends on what style you're doing.
True.
If you are in musical theater, every consonant counts.
It is not out of place, but it might still be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I was thinking about how one of the things that I really appreciate about Livingston's music, and one of the things that he really impressed on me when he was kind of dissecting me and figuring out what makes me tick and helping me to be a better writer, was he really drove home musical theater for me. Musical theater as kind of what has shaped the best of popular music, and also what makes my writing special is how theatrical it is.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah. Well, I got a little bit tired of every time I showed somebody a song, them saying, this sounds like it belongs in a show. And so finally I said, fine, it is in a show. I write
show
musical
called My
theater
Life.
now. But anyway, one of the things that's very special about musical theater writing is no words are really spared a lot of the time. And we're seeing this a little bit less in modern musicals where the songs more closely resemble pop songs. But even then, a lot of the time in the choruses, words are changed so that we can continue to move the story along while still giving the effect of like the sing-along chorus.
Yeah.
And it gives us these different sections, and it gives us that familiarity and that driving force while still providing new information.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's something that I use a fair amount in my music, and in particular in this next tune, is just every time the chorus has different words, but still has something that you can grab onto and sing along to.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I know that I just sang a song about something that happened in New York, but apparently New York is a big part of my life, I guess, from living in it or something.
Either
this-
that or, I mean, there's a lot of people there.
There's a lot
Sometimes.
of people here. But this song is loosely based on a true story. I was watching a live stream of one of my favorite artists, Ben Thornwell. He was doing like a group songwriting thing with his followers. And, we were all writing a song together. And everybody in the chat was screaming out this line that got my attention. But he didn't like it as much, and he picked something else. But I couldn't get it out of my head. So I wrote my own song. Bare your teeth, stand there menacingly. You can't fool me, and your nails are clean. You think you're James Dean. I don't know a thing about it. Thought I wouldn't think about it, but I need something new to happen. I've spent my life following dots when I should have been connecting all the stars. Life's getting old and you're not leaving yet, so be my New York Romeo, can I be your New York Juliet? Play it cool, give your time to the room, and when you're through, make it clear who you choose. When our lips fuse, kiss me for another minute. What's a life without you in it? You and me's a bad decision. You've spent your life chasing a ghost when you should have been accepting who you are. You're not that bad though, I'm willing to bet. So be my New York Romeo, can I be your New York Juliet? Your New York Juliet. Oh, oh. Youth nutty knows the trouble of caused with you. No one has to see the thieves we are. I'm sneaking down to see how far we get. Yeah, I've spent my life following dots when I should have been connecting all the stars. Life's getting old and you're not leaving yet, so be my New York Romeo, yeah. Be my New York Romeo, yeah. Can I be your New York Juliet? Thank you.
A pretty woman who knows how to play piano in 7. You know the way to my heart, Juliana. I love that. No, that was such a. I always love, odd or asymmetrical rhythms and meters and stuff. It's just a fun way to add any sort of syncopation to things.
Yeah, I think we can all agree I was on some Berkeley shit with that song.
You were, but it's great. Did you set out to write something in 7 and you're just like,
No.
"Fuck it."
I didn't. I was sitting at my piano and I was just like playing with. I was playing with, just like practicing all my chords that belong in a key. And it turned from doing like your major, minor, four. It went from that to just climbing with what feels good. And then I was like, okay, that sounds good and I want to work it into a song. And I was like playing around with it and I was like, why does this feel weird to sing over? So I recorded it to listen back to. I was like, oh, damn. I wrote a song in 7. What a nerd.
Yeah.
Now I have to write it.
I know. It's the worst. And you got to have like fun harmonies in there too. Like what you just a Berkeley asshole. It's
It was a
fine.
real pain. It was a real
It's-
pain. I really collared it up.
Well, I mean, get ready for my next one cuz it's going to be the intro song and that one has got a fair amount of jazz to it. So it'll be fun.
I'll brace myself.
You better be ready. Letting you in was the worst thing I could do. I don't recall it taking much to convince me to. I thought I had escaped your emotional attraction. So imagine my surprise at a cardiac reaction. I thought I was stronger than I really am. It took all my attention just to try to be a better man. I guess it was no use. I didn't really get to choose, so I guess I let it go for a little while. I wanted something physical, but I forgot how much my heart misinterprets the way that I get touched. Looking at you, falling so much harder than I ever wanted to. I guess it was a touch too much that did me in. Your brand of physical seduction is what got me hooked. And all it took was just a touch too much to begin. I guess I was wrong about what that smile would do to me. I thought a one-night stand was well within my capabilities. But those legs, those lips, and an ass that just won't quit. When you're dancing right beside me, I know it's hopeless to resist. The chains that you put on me hurt so good. You got a much tighter hold on me than I ever thought anyone would. But I won't complain, cause I know that what's in store is everything I ever wanted and so much more. I thought that my reaction time was faster than this, but I guess I overestimated my resistance to your kiss. Looking at you, falling so much harder than I ever wanted to. I guess it was a touch too much that did me in. Your brand of physical seduction is what got me hooked. And all it took was just a touch too much. Why does everybody have it easier than me? Turning it off when it starts to feel more than good. I guess I was never made to operate like this. So I guess I'll wait to find somebody who wants more than just my kiss. Looking at you, falling so much harder than I ever wanted to. I guess it was a touch too much that did me in. Your brand of physical seduction is what got me hooked. And all it took was just a touch too much. All it took was just a touch too much for it all to begin.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Break it! Break the guitar!
No. Oh God, I couldn't afford a new one. I still have one, but I don't want to treat it as a spare.
Hey, yeah.
I spent too
It's-
much money on those things.
Every time it surprises me and excites me to hear a singer-songwriter tune that says, "An acid just won't quit." Like,
Had to be-
yeah, man.
Had to be a little outside of my box, but you know,
Mhm.
sometimes you just got to say the truth.
I think
Sometimes it's just
it catches, but I think it's got to do with how charming you are, probably, as a person. That like it catches you by surprise, and you're like,
right.
"Hee hee, that's funny, that's cute."
Well, good. That's what I'm going for, so I'll take it.
Mhm.
Nice. Well, you want to do one more, two more? What are you feeling?
I could do two more.
Sure. Well, let's. What do you got for your penultimate song?
So for my penultimo, I've got one of the tunes that I actually do have out already. I wanted to take it back to a few of the tunes that I wrote kind of when we knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
So this song, Rhode Island Roads, it's a bit of a bummer.
Are you from Rhode Island originally?
I'm not.
Okay.
I've been to Rhode Island maybe twice.
Have you? Okay. This song, it sounds vaguely familiar, but maybe not.
Well, so I wrote it while I was at Berkeley, and it was at first about my experiences, and then I just couldn't finish writing it. And then I was talking to a really close friend who had been in an abusive relationship, and she was texting our group chat because she was back in her hometown for a little while, and she was stuck in the parking lot in her car crying because like she couldn't go into the store where she needed to go because her abuser worked in that store.
Mm-hmm.
And so she could not go in there. And it had been a while since they'd broken up, but that kind of trauma comes with you,
Yeah.
right? Wherever you go. And so this tune is like just, in that moment, I knew that was what I needed to finish the song. And I asked her permission. I knew that was what the tune needed, was to tell kind of multiple stories from the perspective of, it sounds like it's one,
Yeah.
but it's coming at it from a couple different places.
Sure.
And the first image that like came to my mind when I was writing this tune was like a domestic violence PSA that I'd seen on the TV several years ago, of like this woman who goes into a hair salon and she gets a beautiful haircut, but then she's looking at herself in the mirror and she says, "No, I want it shorter." And then she keeps saying, "I want it shorter." And then she says, "I want it so short that he can never grab it again." And that image really stuck with me for a long time. It still really gets to me in my heart. It hurts me to think about. So that was the first thing. The bridge was the first thing that came to me for this song. Because once I had that detail, I just kept going on these lines of like the extremes that I would go to never feel your touch again.
Yeah.
So I've got this tune, Rhode Island Roads, that was first played at the Berkeley Perfect Pitch Contest
Oh,
in,
sweet.
I think, 2018.
I love that.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, Dan, let's hear it.
All right. I thought that I'd be squeaky clean this long without you in my life, but you show up in my mirror every night. You grasp my shoulders, part my lips, awake the ghosts of kisses past, then leave me shivering on the shower mat. I left the county where we lived, removed your t-shirts from my drawer, but beneath these blankets there is always more. 'Cause I emptied bottles of perfume to drench your scent out of my bed, but just washed it deeper into every thread. Oh, I watched as you shrunk to nothing in my review. That truth left behind on Rhode Island roads. But you're here, you're my phantom, you're my conscience, you're the one thing I did wrong. Left behind on Rhode Island roads. I dreamed of redesigning worlds, wanted to change the things I knew, but I didn't think I'd end up changing too. These shirts, they cover me like sheets. I know they fit me just last fall, but they smother me like I am 2 feet tall. Oh, I watched as you shrunk to nothing in my review. That's the truth left behind on Rhode Island roads. But you're here, you're my phantom, you're my conscience, you're the one thing I did wrong. I pried your voice from my stereo speakers, scrubbed and scratched until I'd shed the memory of your fingers from my skin. I begged the barber to make me a better woman, but the shorter that I cut my hair, the more that I looked like you. Ripped the doors from their hinges so I couldn't be surprised when you show up for the 13th time to say you didn't mean it. But you stand at every corner, you're a nightmare while awake, and I can't live with shots of danger wreaking havoc in my You broke my body, trashed my trust. You fractured everything I thought that I'd become. Oh, I watched as you shrunk to nothing in my review. That's the truth left behind on Rhode Island roads. But you're here, you're my phantom, you're my conscience, you're the one thing I did wrong. Left behind on Rhode Island roads.
Damn.
Thanks.
Damn. That was powerful.
Thanks.
I'm gonna definitely not want to follow that song.
Yeah, that tune's out everywhere. Rhode Island Roads.
Oh, that's right. It's on all the listening platforms and
All of
socials
the listening
and
platforms. It even has the part where I correctly do that. I did not get it today.
Couldn't even tell. It's fine. It's fine. Well, then I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do, and that's play an incomplete song.
Oh my god.
Because I'm working on this one. I started writing it towards the end of my time in Nashville. So the background on this kind of thing, it kind of approaches a couple different topics. And one of them being that I'm completely shameless, and this is Pride Month, is about my bisexuality.
Yes.
And so like part of it is it's based on like the perception that someone gets when they come out to their parents on that kind of thing. But in addition to just that, it's also about like the pacing at which you're taking your life. Are you, like you just trying to get all your shit done, or are you stopping and smelling the roses and chilling for a little bit, and like, and how the older generations kind of tend to be like, hey, get to work, and we're kind of just like, but like the earth is dying, can we just chill for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, like I said, it's a not so thinly veiled euphemism, the whole entire song, and it's about whistling. The original idea came from the term that I kind of came up with was called flirting with the birds, because when you're whistling, like birds, like they sing because they're trying to get laid. They're all mating calls 90% of the time, and so I always like to whistle, and I will whistle to the birds and try to learn some of the calls, and technically speaking, I'm probably whispering sweet nothings to them in the process, but
Hot.
so this song, like I said, it's called Flirting with the Birds. It's not quite done yet. It's got like it's basically AABA, and then I don't have anything else yet, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm stoked.
This is the live debut of it, so. My daddy don't like it, says it gets on his nerves. You're spending too much time on the front porch singing. Why can't you go and find a respectable girl? And my mama don't love it, but she tries to see my side. She says just get it out in your 30s. I still want grandkids before I turn 65. They seem to think it's just a phase. Why else would I be spending all my days singing along to a Cardinal song? It's not their fault, nobody told them to take their time and smell the roses. They're always talking about the next big thing and how much somebody owes them. Sometimes the sweetest song sounds better with unsung words. So don't mind me, I'll be out here flirting with the birds. So, like I said, it's a half song right now, but
Yo, you can
it's getting there.
whistle.
it's my lips are a little dry right now, but I try. I do enjoy it.
I was thinking about some birds that you could take home to your mother.
Okay.
And I was also realizing that a lot of like bird names that ended up being like people names are gender neutral names. Robin,
Like Robin. Yep.
Jay,
Jay.
pelican. Okay, that's not a people name yet, but it's
Not yet.
pretty.
It is gender neutral because I feel like both genders hate it equally as a name, or all genders would hate it equally as a name.
There's a student in one of my little baby classes named Hawk, which
That's
is
cute.
also a
That's
gender
kinda
neutral
cool.
name.
Yeah.
You could take home any of these gender neutral birds to your mama and make gender neutral babies with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
love
not-
that.
Yeah. Well, why don't you close us out here?
Oh, and I'm having so much fun.
I know, me too. Let's just keep this rolling all day and just come back to it every
Yeah.
couple hours and
Yeah.
make breakfast and have a podcast and watch TV and
I'm into that. I'm into
sounds
that.
fun.
Podcasts, TV, breakfast.
Oh,
Those are the things I do.
you got to keep talking and then just jazz
Podcasts,
chorus.
TV, breakfast, lunch, Snack time.
There you go.
Chocolate chips. Potato chips. Buffalo chips.
Wood chips.
Wood chips.
Chip Skylark.
Chip Skylark. Oh, what a hottie patati.
I know. It wasn't any time recently, but I was definitely talking about Shiny Teeth and Me with somebody at some point.
Twitter was talking
Like
about it a
recently.
couple weeks ago.
Maybe that's
Twitter's
what I
always
saw.
talking about Chip Skylark. He's a hottie patati. There are a couple of like kind of sound bites. There's a lot of sound bites like stuck in the like EDM soundboard of my brain. And a lot of them come from, you know, the cartoons that we watched growing up, like Fairly Odd Parents. One of them is a Chip Skylark quote, and it is Tuesdays, applesauce day, which I believe he says
He
when
was,
he gets
like, all
bonked
drugged
on the
up or
head.
something? Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
Yes, that's right. I
every-
think he gets bogged
every
down. It's
Tuesday.
Tuesdays, applesauce day, and then he faints. That does, yeah.
So that one
Jeez.
is in my head constantly. Most of
That-
the others are from Homestar Runner. If that means anything to you.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I
It was big where I lived.
my I think the big one in my head most of the time is Carl Weezer saying croissant, because it's the best, and also you know those like they were like Star Wars videos where it's like lightsaber fights, but all of the lightsaber sounds are replaced by something. And one of them was Carl Weezer doing croissant,
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
hilarious. There's also a version of Childish Gambino's Redbone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a version with like a Carl Weezer impression, and it's hilarious.
Oh my God.
It is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
The Jimmy Neutron soundbite in my head is in the episode where they were in the Battle of the Bands and they were the Llama Lords from space. The Llama Lords of Science.
Right.
Apologies. Don't
Yep.
come for me. The Llama Lords of Science. And at the last minute, they like changed their name in the talent contest, and Ms. Fowl went on the stage and had to introduce them as something else.
I love Miss Fowl.
So
Just
now,
every time. James Isaac Neutron.
yeah, so constantly in my head, anytime I'm looking for something else.
Now I'm gonna be thinking, or I'm gonna be hearing Miss Fowl all the time.
I hope you do. If I am still an educator when I am the perceived age that Ms. Fowl is, hi, beautiful kitty.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be up here right now, but
If I'm still an educator when I am whatever age Ms. Fowl is perceived to be in the show, I was about to say in the books, I want to make myself a ridiculous character that the kids can talk about.
I think you should.
Anyway, though, podcast, breakfasts, TV.
There you go.
I've got a song. I Got a Song by Ray Charles. That was the first one that I put out after leaving Berkeley.
Okay.
And it was definitely the song of mine that like all my friends and everybody knew best by me. And it is, of course, Michael, the song about
yes.
the
Yes,
song
this
about
is
that terrible man.
good old
Yeah!
descending line cliche. Oh no, I know it. I don't
Come
know all the words,
on.
but I know the song.
Yeah.
All right, well let's hear it.
Let's do
Get
it.
Michael out of here.
Get him out of here. He sucks. Well, I realize this is the third song I'm doing today that references New York City. I've got a problem. It's Michael. He's the problem. Here we go then. Big boy words like juvenile, baby. 26 in Velcro shoes. Speaking of 26-year-old meltdown. Bold tattoo across your leg, baby. A picture of a child's cartoon. If you wanna be treated like a real man, you can't be forgiven like a child. Flattery will get you nowhere, and everyone knows who you are. Michael always getting into fights. Michael always trying to be the one that's right. burning bridges as he goes to set himself apart. Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Well, age is not maturity, muscles aren't security, and cheating doesn't make you smart. Hey, ho! New York, born and bred and worked, baby. Waltzing like you own the place. So professional, it hurts, baby. When I get blamed for your mistakes. Well, if you wanna be treated like a real man, you can't be forgiven like a child. Flattery will get you nowhere when everyone knows who you are. Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Burning bridges as he goes to set himself apart. Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Well, age is not maturity, muscles not security, and cheating doesn't make you smart. Hey, oh. You can learn a lot about a man by the way he treats the ones he deems below him. And I have learned a lot about you, man, from the shortness of your fuse and the words you like to choose to ignore it when you lose. Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Well, age is not maturity, muscles aren't security, and cheating doesn't make you smart. Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Burning bridges as he goes to set himself apart. Hey, Michael always getting into fights, Michael always trying to be the one that's right. Well, age is not maturity, muscles aren't security, and that makes you louder, but it doesn't make you right. Strutting isn't chivalry, sex is not ability, and cheating doesn't make you smart.
Ooh, a nice little minor 9 there at the end.
Yeah, well, you know, man.
You know, went to Berkeley. You got to do the chords. Well, awesome. Thank you for being on.
Oh my God, thanks a million for having me, Nick.
Yeah. Please, if you know, I like to try to get new people as much as possible, but I'm definitely going to have you back. So hopefully I
that'd
can
be a dream.
hit you up sometime in the summer about that and see what you got available.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say to the people that we'll be seeing this soon?
I mean, yeah, I do. Make your congresspeople and governors and everybody aware of what you want. Get out there and make everybody know it. They don't represent us all the time.
No, they
Tell
don't.
them what you mean. Show them what you mean. Go out. Activize.
Activize?
Yeah, activize.
Activize
just, like,
yourself.
Get out there. Protest. Peacefully. Be good about it. Follow protest protocol. I'm going to be out there. I hope I'll see everybody else too. Show up for your people. They're coming for you next if they haven't already. They've made that clear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have. Nice. Well, on that note, stick around
Yeah.
for just a minute after I stop recording this. We'll,
Yeah, for sure.
Just talk for a few.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks to Juliana for joining me. If you guys haven't already, please follow her thing on Instagram and Facebook and all the thingies. And,
Thanks again, Nick. This is really fun.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Thanks for
we'll
letting me get on my soapbox at the last second.
Of course. Absolutely. Someone's got to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.